Hello again, world. This is Michael G. Nastos reporting again for WDEE-TV headline news, coming to you from our studios in Ypsilanti, Michigan. Our top 5 news stories for this day, Thursday, October 30th, 2014, with November ahead. By the way, don't forget to turn your clocks back an hour this weekend. It's fallback weekend. Our top story today comes from MLive.com and writer Lizzie Alfs. Mark Hodesh always knew a time would come to hand over the reins to his longtime Ann Arbor business, Downtown Home and Garden. Hodesh, who turned 70 this fall, has decided the time is now. Downtown Home and Garden employee Kelly Vore plans to buy the garden supply and home goods store at 210 South Ashley Street as Hodesh steps back from the ownership role. Hodesh will continue to oversee Mark's Carts outdoor food courtyard and Bill's beer garden, and he will retain ownership of the building and contribute by working in the store in some fashion. He said, "There comes a time," Hodesh said, "I want to do this in an orderly fashion, on top, my choices." Kelly is terrific, he said. Hodesh's business is a downtown staple. The store draws families looking to spruce up their gardens and homes. It frequently hosts events such as a big Christmas party with Santa and Mrs. Claus. As downtown Ann Arbor continues to develop and on the heels of some churn among longtime retailers, Hodesh is focused on preserving Downtown Home and Garden well into the future. As a landlord, Hodesh says the rent at Downtown Home and Garden will be 1/10 of some asking rents on South Main Street, where longtime businesses such as Seifried Jewelers closed shop recently due to those rising rents. More on this story can be found on our local news feeds link on our website at WDEE-TV.com. Coming up next, a local Main Street receives national accreditation.
At Morgan Taylor, buy 2 suits, get a 3rd suit free. Morgan Taylor is located at 133 West Michigan Avenue in Ypsilanti. Clothing and accessories for men, women, and children at Morgan Taylor. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call 734-221-0296. Ask about layaways and in-store financing. At Morgan Taylor, buy 2 suits, get a 3rd suit free.
Hello again, Michael G. Nastos back for WDEE-TV headline news, coming to you from our studios in Ypsilanti, Michigan. Our next headline news story, number 2 today, comes from Heritage.com. No writer byline was given. Michigan State Housing Development Authority announced this week that the Saline Main Street has been recognized as a nationally accredited Main Street community by the National Trust Main Street Center and the Michigan Main Street Center at MSHDA. Saline Main Street has made many efforts towards their revitalization goals using the Main Street approach, said Laura Krizov, who is the manager of the Michigan Main Street Center at MSHDA. She continued, "We are happy to recognize their program as nationally accredited this year." Saline Main Street is one of 4 Michigan Main Street communities receiving national recognition this year. The Michigan Main Street Select and Master level communities are evaluated annually based on 10 performance standards prescribed by the National Trust Main Street Center, and eligible communities are submitted to the national level for final review. Local Main Street programs are encouraged to embrace community revitalization and economic development through organization, promotion, design, and economic restructuring. Recent studies show that supporting downtowns creates vibrant centers where people want to live, work, and invest. The Michigan Main Street Center is part of the MSHDA's effort to create vibrant communities across the state. More on this story can be found on our local news feeds link on our website at WDEE-TV.com, your Main Street for news. Coming up next, the Detroit to Chicago rail will hit speeds of up to 110 miles per hour. Hello once again, Michael G. Nastos here reporting WDEE-TV headline news coming to you from our studios in Ypsilanti, Michigan. Our next headline news story today comes from the Detroit Free Press and writer Eric D. Lawrence. A completed high-speed rail corridor between Chicago and Detroit could boost round-trip passenger train service between the two cities from the current 3 daily trips up to 10 by 2035 at speeds of up to 110 miles an hour, according to the preliminary planning report on the project. The higher speeds would also cut the 5-hour, 38-minute trip by almost 2 hours and reduce 20 minutes from the leg that continues from Detroit to Pontiac, which would see an extra 4 daily round trips from the current 3. This information is part of a draft environmental impact statement released last month and discussed Tuesday during a meeting at the new John D. Dingell Transit Center on Michigan Avenue in Dearborn, which is set to open in December. The approximately 300-mile high-speed corridor is being designed to make rail an attractive alternative to highways and air for passenger travel between the Detroit area and Chicago, according to this statement. The route from Michigan City, Indiana, to Pontiac would follow Amtrak's Wolverine route, but several options are under consideration for the trip from Union Station in downtown Chicago to Michigan City, an area with heavy levels of freight traffic. Barbara Adams, who is 62, and Mary Jo Durovich, 65, both of Dearborn, were among a few dozen people who attended the meeting. Both have adult children living in Chicago, and they say that city's public transit options are among the reasons their children chose to live there. Adams said she is concerned that the current proposal does not include a stop at Detroit's Metro Airport. She noted that many other cities link their airports to their local rail systems. More on this high-speed story can be found on our high-speed local news feeds link on our website at WDEE-TV.com, sharing Michigan with the world at your fingertips. Coming up next, a Maine nurse defies her quarantine for the Ebola watch.
At Morgan Taylor, buy 2 suits, get a 3rd suit free. Morgan Taylor is located at 133 West Michigan Avenue in Ypsilanti. Clothing and accessories for men, women, and children at Morgan Taylor. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call 734-221-0296. Ask about layaways and in-store financing. At Morgan Taylor, buy 2 suits, get a 3rd suit free.
Hello once again, Michael G. Nastos here reporting for WDEE-TV headline news coming to you from our studios in Ypsilanti, Michigan. We're online, sharing Michigan with the world. Our next headline news story comes from USA Today and writers Caitlin Chena and Doug Stanglin. Casey Hickox went bike riding with her boyfriend Thursday morning, defying state orders to remain at home for 21 days. The 33-year-old nurse who recently treated Ebola patients in West Africa told reporters late Wednesday that day-long negotiations had failed to resolve a deadlock over the quarantine issue. Hickox, who had vowed to ignore the state order beginning Thursday, and her boyfriend, Ted Wilbur, donned helmets, stepped off the front porch of his rural house around 9 a.m., and rode off on their mountain bikes. They were followed by an unmarked state police car and a band of reporters and photographers. "It's a beautiful day for a bike ride," Hickox said as she pedaled away, the Bangor Daily News reports. They returned about an hour later. Without a court order, troopers do not have the authority to restrain her. Hickox appeared to test at least the spirit of the state order Wednesday night when she stepped outside Wilbur's house to speak to the news media and actually shook hands with one reporter. She said, "It is not my intention to put anyone at risk in this community. We have been negotiating with the state of Maine all day and tried to resolve this amicably, but they will not allow me to leave my house and have any interaction with the public, even though I am completely healthy and symptom-free." More on this story can be found on our local news feeds link on our website at WDEE-TV.com. Coming up next, story number 5, Ypsilanti Lincoln's consolidated football team will face off against Wyandottes Roosevelt in the high school playoffs on Friday. Hello again, Michael G. Nastos reporting for WDEE-TV Headline News, coming to you from our studios in Ypsilanti, Michigan. And our 5th headline news story today, it's a sports story coming from MLive.com and writer Justin P. Hicks. Friday marks the start of the 2014 high school football playoffs, and Ypsilanti Lincoln, 6-3, will travel to Wyandotte to face Roosevelt, 7-2 on the season. The Bears are still a relative unknown for the Railsplitters, but the Lincoln faithful are seeking revenge for a pair of playoff knockouts by Roosevelt in 2011 and 2013. Lincoln's playoff history is quite short, and its 2 pre-district appearances ended in close losses to Roosevelt. In 2013, 45-40, and in 2011, 28-21. Those are also the only times Lincoln and Roosevelt have played each other. The Bears, on the other hand, have had plenty of playoff experiences, making it past the pre-district game the last 4 years, including a Division II semifinal appearance in 2012. Roosevelt's head coach Ron Adams said despite facing Lincoln twice in the last 3 years, he still considers the team an unknown, although he's confident his Bears have done their homework in studying their first-round opponent. Go Railsplitters. More on this story can be found on the local news feeds link on our website, WDEE-TV.com. Coming up next, the WDEE-TV Headline Music Report.
At Morgan Taylor, buy 2 suits, get a 3rd suit free. Morgan Taylor is located at 133 West Michigan Avenue in Ypsilanti. Clothing and accessories for men, women, and children at Morgan Taylor. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call 734-221-0296. Ask about layaways and in-store financing. At Morgan Taylor, buy 2 suits, get a 3rd suit free.
Hello once again, Michael G. Nastos wrapping up our WDEE-TV headline news rack of 5 stories coming to you from our studios in Ypsilanti, Michigan. And to conclude today, we have a WDEE-TV.com headline music and entertainment news report. Tonight is opening night for the year-long display of the late Gary Grimshaw's art at the Detroit Historical Museum Kirby at Woodward. He is best known for his concert posters in the 60s and 70s, but worked right up until his death earlier this year. We are providing a Facebook link to the event on our website at WDEE-TV.com. The New Music Detroit Collective received a sizable grant from the John L. and James S. Knight Foundation via their Arts Challenge program to present what will be the 8th annual Strange and Beautiful Music Festival in the fall of 2015. Matching funds will be raised at a benefit concert staged at Trinisoph's on December 10th. The Ark has released their lineup for their 38th annual Ann Arbor Folk Festival, taking place at Hill Auditorium over 2 days, Friday and Saturday, January 30th and 31st of 2015. Opening night will be emceed by Steve Poltz and features Michigan bluegrass musicians Billy Strings and Don Julin, Mandarin Orange with Andrew Martin and Emily France, hailing from North Carolina, Bahamas, led by Finnish-Canadian Afi Järvinen, Baskery from Sweden, Alabama's Jason Isbell, and in from Colorado, the Yonder Mountain String Band. The Blockbuster Saturday show has Cheryl Wheeler introducing the acts, including Ann Arbor blues rock guitarist Laith Al-Sadi, California's Dust Bowl Revival, Hank Williams' daughter Holly Williams, legendary singer-songwriters Buffy St. Marie and Annie DeFranco, and headliner Amos Lee. Other artists will be added to the bill. The Ark is celebrating 50 years of continuous operation as well. Ken Kozora may be familiar to local audiences as a musician, educator, and engineer whose credits and associations are lengthy over decades. You possibly heard him at the recent Edgefest. He's performed in ensembles incorporating various styles of music, yet what he does personally is purely unique and in many ways unclassifiable. An independent CD has just been released by Kozora based on a one-of-a-kind concept. Music for Lasers has just been issued, surrounding what the keyboardist and percussionist terms wavelengths and vibrations derived from inspiration of laser art. 5 original new soundscapes were created in collaboration with Mike Gould, who, along with Kozora, wrote lyrics sung by Laura Holliday in conjunction with his laser art works. It's a fascinating combination of disciplines that goes beyond ambient 21st century electronic, new age, texture music, or improvised jazz. Music was initially presented at the L is for Laser installation in Midland, Michigan, at the Alden B. Dow Museum of Science and Art in the fall and winter of 2013. We'll hear a little sample of Music for Lasers. Guitarist Alex Belhage is a musician you might have heard in local nightclubs playing traditional or New Orleans-style jazz. His debut recording, titled Sugar Blues, has just been given national promotion and distribution through the Raymond Street label, recorded in Toledo, mixed in Saline, and mastered in Ann Arbor. Belhage and his Crescent City Quartet features the veteran clarinetist from Toledo, Ray Heitger. Young bassist Jordan Shug and Dave Kuzmina on the cornet round out the drummerless foursome. The program comprises well-known old-time standards from the early to mid-1900s, written by notables like Jelly Roll Morton, Sidney Bechet, Clarence Williams, Artie Matthews, and others. In his liner notes, the venerable R. Wolf writes that Belhage, primarily a chordal player, similar to Marty Gross or Al Casey, quote, has selected his weave of stomps, blues, and spirituals most carefully. Wolfie concluding, impressionable souls may feel the need to stand up and strut around with one index finger in the air. That's the CD from Alex Belhage. From Alex Belhage. For WDEE-TV Headline News, this has been Michael G. Nastos letting you know, don't forget, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our Headline News service on our YouTube channel. All social media links are on WDEE-TV. We also want to make sure that you fall back this weekend, turn your clocks behind 1 hour overnight, Saturday night, Sunday morning. My name is Michael G. Nastos reporting the news today. So long, everybody. See you tomorrow on Halloween.